Welcome back to the Budget Gamer channel where we've got your indie games covered, and today we're going to be looking at a hilarious indie called Toridama Brave Challenge. Now there's not much about this online right now, I'm not sure if anyone's even worried about covering it, but if you were a fan of Wario-Ware, or are a fan of those insane off-the-wall microgame challenge type games, you're absolutely going to love Toridama Brave Challenge. There's really no story to talk about in this game as it is composed purely of a series of microgames, however there is a goal in mind. Pitting yourself against yourself and your own reaction time, or against a friend, or even through online play, the entire world, you'll play through a series of microgames that require you to have patience and a good control of your own anxiety. However, one of the things that makes Toridama Challenge so unique and so difficult is its single button gameplay. And while single button gameplay is generally something that we see reserved for walking simulations or story games, if you do remember those earliest renditions of Wario-Ware that came out on the Game Boy and the 3DS, you'll already have a pretty good idea of how difficult a single button challenge game can be. And though admittedly it doesn't have Wario-Ware or Wario-Ware Gold's 200 something plus microgames, it does have 19 of its own really challenging ones. And that being said, having a single player, double player, world, global competitive mode as well as a crazy mode, Toridama Brave Challenge does stand pretty well on its own, especially for the only game of its kind on the Switch. And even though it did take me a while to notice this playing through all 19 of the games, none of the games are exactly the same each time you play. While all of the games will require an expert control of your own biological timing, certain elements of each puzzle are actually randomized pretty much every single time you play. For example, the game called the original Chicken Run, where the goal is to drive a car as fast as you can as close to the edge of the cliff without driving over. The car that you're required to stop before going off the edge of the cliff will always accelerate at a predictable speed. However, on occasion, sometimes an audience member will jump out onto the hood of your car and slow your acceleration and increase your braking distance. Likewise, as simple as it may seem to fill a cup with juice, incorporating a multitude of different types of glasses that you're required to fill with all different shapes can cause your goal of gaining the perfect surface tension to slip away pretty easily. And in addition to games such as skydiving or the pretzel challenge where your goal is to protect your first kiss, several of the initial games get a stage 2 version that is way more than twice as difficult. And it only goes to increase the level of satisfaction and joy you get from being able to complete a really off-the-wall simple challenge. However, to unlock these secondary modes and to unlock all of the later of the 19 games, you'll have to be able to perform at a certain level, and each level is rated on a score of negative 9,999 to positive 9,999, with an average performance being 0. And all of these scores, whether positive or negative, are totaled up at the end of a 3-game challenge in order to see over the course of the 3 games exactly how much of a chicken you are, or if you're playing in 2-player mode, how much less of a chicken you might be than your friend. However, each level does have multiple scoring points, but only by achieving a score over 9,000 can you achieve the rank of Crazy. And with each rank of Crazy on each game that you score, you're awarded a certain title. And these titles are generally just as goofy as the games you had to play to earn them, but they do change regarding whether you're playing in single player, 2-player, or Crazy mode. Crazy mode being the last mode of gameplay after you've completed playing all of the microgames. This mode of gameplay puts all the microgames aligned in a series, and you'll actually have to get a score of Crazy to be able to move on to the next. However, if you do end up getting a score of less than Crazy, you start over. And even though I did end up sinking about 2 hours into this game just playing through it, because honestly it was hilariously fun, I didn't manage to get past stage 2 in Crazy mode. Though I am kind of proud of myself because I did earn the title of Crazy on every single microgame, at least in single player mode. But besides the microgames and the scoring systems and the different gameplay modes, there were actually 2 other things about this game that really stood out to me and just made it so much more enjoyable. The first one being the art style. When I saw it on the eShop, I literally thought nothing of it. I thought, okay, paper cutouts, this is gonna be terrible. But the way everything is rendered in this gameplay and the animation style is just over the top hilarious. And that paired with the other thing of note, which is this incredibly intense dramatic drum beat, created this whole new dramatic level of comedy that I really didn't expect. And in all honesty, I'd have to say that this has quickly become one of my favorite casual games on the Switch, and I am dying to go play this with friends. But anyway, that does about wrap up the review of Toridama Brave Game, now on the Nintendo Switch. So if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to throw me a like or a comment to show your support, and don't forget to click that little bell icon when you subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. As you can see, there are new and unique indies coming out literally every single day, so there's always going to be something new to find right here. But if you want a hint as to what might be coming up to be reviewed next, you can follow us on Twitter. But anyway, this has been Budget Gamers. As always, thanks for watching.